Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you saw the short that I did the other day, you kind of got a glimpse of what's going to be going on today. And I'm going to do something today on camera here that's probably never been done before. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm going to read the instructions on this thing. Alright, so that wasn't that funny. Anyhow, I'm going to go through the setup on this thing. I have never used one, never even seen one until it came in the box. But I will say one thing. This thing is heavy. I had to set it up on this cart with a, I've got an electric winch in the rafters of my garage here. And this thing probably weighs, I don't know, it's a couple hundred pounds, I bet. So anyhow, I'm going to just go through it and see if I can get it done today. I'm going to read the instructions because I don't want to mess anything up. And I got a ton of blades. I've probably got at least 30 blades. I got a bunch of blades that came with my mill when I bought it. And I don't know if some of them might not be good. Some of them have a lot of rust on them. You know, I'm not really sure what the outcome's going to be. But I'm going to start on the bad ones first. And just learn on those, you know, and see if I can get this thing dialed in. But first I got to put it together. So I'm going to go ahead and look at some directions here and see if we can't get this thing put together. Stay with me, we're gonna have a good day. Alright, so in the box I got this 5-gallon bucket. That wasn't in the box, but I ordered that with it. With cutting oil. And I got some parts here. Everything's packaged really nice. And they gave me an extra one of these. I'm not sure if this was by mistake or if it comes with it. I had ordered one of these a week before I got this, but these are little gauges and they're really handy. They tell you what blade you have. Like all the blades I have, they have the Woodmizer serial numbers on them, but that means nothing to the average guy. This right here will tell you, you put this in the blade and it'll tell you what blade you have. And they fit really good. They fit really tight. If it's not the right one, it will not be right. It will not fit right. There will be a little bit of air showing behind it. And when it's, you know, when you got the right blade here selected, it fits in there perfectly tight. So anyway, those are nice. I got 2 sets of them now. And then we got some other parts here. A bunch of plastic parts. And another bag of parts here, which I don't know what any of it's for yet, so stick with me here, we're going to learn something today. I never do this. I always just figure it out by looking at a picture. Setup and operation, here we go. Fasten the sharpener to a tabletop using the mounting holes located in the foot plates. The sharpener can be operated with the oil vapors exhaust system only. Okay, so I don't have an exhaust system, so we're just going to run the thing without the, guess what they're talking about is this right here. This right here hooks up here, and that will go to some sort of an exhaust system that can collect liquids, it looks like, in vapor. I wonder if a wet, dry shop vac would work for that. I'm not really sure. I have to check on that because I do have one of those, and if it's going to save me a huge mess, I may try to hook that up. But if not, I'm not sure. So, looks like I want the thing bolted to a table. I'm wondering if I have to do that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. The thing's heavy. I can't imagine it going anywhere. Alright guys, don't laugh at my funny cheap Harbor Freight drill here. I actually won it in a fishing tournament. And my good stuff's over at the property right now, so let's see if this thing's got the mustard to put her through there. Ooh, I locked them feet now. By the way, I was kind of making a little joke about it yesterday, but I did get these medical carts off of a Facebook Marketplace ad. They're a little bit tall, but man, they're built nice. They're nicer than my toolboxes. I might have to drill it. There she goes. Took a little bit, but went. It's a plastic covering on here, but it's got metal underneath it. That went a little easier. Okay, step 1 done. Sharpening includes 3 blade support arms with guide assemblies. To install the support arms, lubricate the thread ends of the arms with grease. Insert one arm into the thread hole of each side of the sharpener. Okay, that's easy enough to do. I got some grease right over here. A grease gun. Dab grease on each one. Alright, so that's on. Each guide assembly consists of a blade support with post. That's going to be inside here. Side of the guide, that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to put the bolt in here. It's got a little recess in there so you don't need to put a wrench on it. Looks like it's just a wing nut. A wing nut on the top one, it looks like, and a regular nut on the bottom one. Okay, so that's going to go through there like that. This is going to go down on here. This is going to push down on there, but before I push it down on there, I want to make sure there's not a washer supposed to be on the bottom of it. Tilt the guide to the left side. So apparently this just pushes down on there. I don't think there's a... It doesn't say anything about a washer going on there, so I think that just pushes down on there like that. Here it is. That's the bumper. Yeah, okay, so that's already threaded. Alright, that's easy enough. So this is going to go... That's going to go like that so that when you open it up, it doesn't come back and rest on this bar. That makes sense. That works. There we go. Perfect. So somewhere in this pile right here is a 10-degree blade. And we're going to use our new... I'm going to use the ones that I've already opened up because they're already... Okay, so I have a 1030 stone. I guess they just put the model number on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write, and I don't know if it'll stay on there with all the oil that's going to get splashed around, but I'm going to write on it with a Sharpie that this is a 1030. There's a 1030.875 pitch. That's us. Okay. So now I'm going to take a blade out of the old pile here. Try not to cut myself. Alright, so there's my profile right there that I'm trying to find. So you can see this one is not it. I don't know how good you can see that, but you can see light under it. See light right there? Not the right one. Move on to the next one. Okay, so you'll see the difference now. This is the 10-degree blade right here. There you go. See how tight that fits? No slop at all. Alright, so this is a 10-degree blade. I tested this one already. It's a little bit rusty, but I don't have a wire wheel set up yet. There's some people that clean them with a wire wheel and they make a little 2x4 track that they can slide it through. I don't have that yet, so for today, I'm just going to try to get this thing put together and working, and then I can work on the rest of my process. Alright, so the easiest way I found to do this without killing myself. There you go. I've had some bad experience with those pop-up tents before that are kind of like this. You coil them all up and throw them out on the ground, and I had one come back and whack me right between the legs. No good. I don't want a saw blade to do that for sure. You can take them apart if you're careful, but you've seen some of my videos. I'm pretty accident prone, so I just stand back and let it do what it's going to do. All right, let's see if we can get this thing in this machine. So setting on top of these is what it's calling for. Okay, go right on top of there. Use the blade height adjustment knob to adjust the blade height. Okay, so I want this way down. Okay, I got you. Looks like they've got it in the picture, something like this. That's how they show it in the picture, on the diagram. Having the blade just about that much above. Now I may come back and say that's too low or too high or whatever, but I'm going by the directions here. This knob right here is going to bring the blade up and down. I can show you real quick. If I turn it this way, you can see the space. See the space? That blade's supposed to sit on top of that. Now if I turn it the other way, it's going to raise it up. I don't know if you can see it raising up. Very precise too. Raises both sides evenly. Just a little bit at a time. So, grinding wheel installation. So it says rotate the cam around until the sharpener head reaches its highest setting. Okay, there we go. So both of these switches have to be on. Say like right there. Okay, that's the grind wheel cover. Okay. I'll remove the arbor. Oh, and you got to remove the oiler too. Another 10mm over on this side. 10mm loose. It's just got to be standard size. I'll slide this out. That's not so bad. That all stays intact right there. Slides out. I'm gonna get a socket for this one too. Just leave it over here. So I'm gonna be doing this a bunch. Okay, so this one here is a 3/4. I'm still gonna find out the size on that other one there real quick. Oh, don't need the extension. Okay, so that one's for sure a 3/4. Okay, so I went through all my sockets and it appears this is a 10mm. The dreaded 10mm. Alright. So we've got the grinding wheel on there. Pop the oiler back on. Pretty simple. Make sure that's not touching. If you push it in too far, it will rub. That looks good right there. Tighten her back down. Put the cover back on. Okay, we're almost dangerous, guys. Lift that up. Tighten that up. Spinning good, it's not hitting anything. It's nice and true, it's not wobbling. Okay, so in just a minute here, I'm gonna put some oil in this thing. And we're gonna do a test run on it. Get it all set up at the right angle and everything. Not sure I had the blade on there right. Turn the feed rate dial until the cam pivot bolt is at the 2 o'clock position. Cam pivot bolt. About 2 o'clock, I'd say. Alright, so I'm adjusting these knobs. So this knob right here is going to raise and lower the tooth up and down this way. So this knob right here, if I go clockwise, it advances the blade further. Counterclockwise advances it not as far. So what happens is when this blade drops down, between this knob and this knob, you have to get the height right so that the blade goes down into the gullet the right distance, and you have to get this adjustment right so that it's catching your face cut. So I'm running it through here really slow. I've got it right now to where it's not going to probably sharpen much at all, and that's where I want to start. I can add as I go around. Okay, so when that stone goes down in there now, it's barely touching anything. And if I shorten that stroke, it's going to grind more on the face of the blade, more of a face cut. And if I raise the height of the blade up, it's going to get further down into the gullet. But for starting, I just want to start where it's just barely grazing it, and then add a little bit to it. I don't want to take too much, and I don't want that stone to come down on top of the tooth. After adjusting the blade height, adjust the blade support arms in the vertical plane as necessary so the blade will remain level around its complete path. Alright guys, I made a little mistake here. I got to go backwards a little bit. When I put the 3 arms on, these little blocks are supposed to go in there. It doesn't tell you It doesn't tell you in the directions, but it shows it in another picture. What I'm gonna do is take these out. I guess this is so you can move it up and down to level it. That makes sense now. I think that's another 3/4 socket. No, it's not going to be 3/4. Let's see what it is. Yep, 11/16 for this one. Okay, now thread this into there. Gotta tell you, the directions didn't say any of this. But it does, the directions do say that there should be a space in between here. Should not be touching. And without that block right there, that's not possible. It's not possible on the other side where there's more slack. On this side it cleared because it's tighter because it's closer to the machine. Alright, so let's get the other ones done. Okay, so of the whole setup, I struggled the most with these arms that hold the blade, which you'd think would be the easiest part of the whole procedure, but the directions that they give you on paper are not very good. They're missing a lot of key points. So basically, the blade has more cantilever on the right side. In other words, there's a longer length going into the machine than what's coming out, so it's more floppy, it's not as stiff. And they say that the blade is only supposed to ride on the back support. It's not supposed to be touching on the base of the left or the right arm. And I could not get that to happen. So I played and played and played with it, but I still couldn't get it to happen on the right side. On the left side, it was always good. But you'll see here as the video progresses that it's not really that big of a deal. It may wear out one of your roller supports a little bit quicker, but it works just fine either way. But I spent a lot of time trying to get it right, and it was really kind of insignificant. So a couple things I didn't mention. If you look down in the oil pan there, you can see there's 4 magnets in there, and they're shaped in an L. They kind of encapsulate the pump. That keeps some metal shavings from getting into the pump. Instructions were very unclear. They said to mount the plate on the bottom of the pump. Well, there was no plate for a pump. All right, shall we put some oil in it? I'm gonna go with that for now. All right, I think I got the blade on there right. I think I got the position right. Clean up some of these tools and let's see if we can get this thing going. Okay, so just a little on the controls here. I want to turn the blade on, or not the blade, I want to turn the grinding wheel on and the oil on. It's these two right here. Pretty simple machine, you can't really mess it up. Getting the setup's a little bit different, but a little bit of a challenge, but other than that, I think we got something that's gonna work. It's going good now. Now I'm just gonna advance my blade here, see. It's just barely taking a little bit off, which is what I want. Probably could go a little more than that, but I'm gonna go around a couple times till I get it right anyways. Last thing I want to do is ruin a $200 stone. I'm just barely touching it right now. I'm not even doing anything to it really. So there's a couple ways to tell when you've gone all the way around on the blade. One, you can mark it. 2, you can use a magnet that will automatically shut it off when it goes by a sensor. And then 3, which is what I did, you can just listen for it. Once it takes some metal off on one pass, it won't take any more off on the second pass. So you'll hear the sound of the grinder, and then all of a sudden it'll just, you won't hear anything grinding. That's when you know you're coming back to sharp teeth. So guys, I got it running, and I think it's running pretty good. It sounds good, it looks good, it's dropping right into the gullet how it's supposed to. Little disappointed with Woodmizer's directions, but like I said, there's probably a video out there that I didn't watch that probably goes over all this setup, I don't know. I went off the manual and there was a lot of stuff in there missing, but I got it figured out. I was really looking back at it. It's not that difficult, but for somebody who's never set one of these up before, and I'm still not sure how it's going to cut, but I'm assuming it's going to be pretty good. I'm going to probably run it through the setter tomorrow. I'm going to get that set up tomorrow, one thing at a time, and see if I can't make some good blades, because I got a pile of them. And I'm waiting on, I think I heard FedEx pull up a little while ago. I'm waiting on my 4-degree blade. I have a 4-degree grinder. I'm using the CBN wheels. They're pretty pricey, but I think they last a little longer too, so it's probably a trade-off. But hopefully my 4-degree is here. I don't use a lot of 4-degree. I don't see myself using a lot of 4-degree. I'm between a 7 and a 10 usually. 10 most of the time. I'm pretty much falling in love with that 10-degree. But it all depends on the wood you cut, and if it's frozen, not frozen, how hard it is. A lot of variables, but on my machine a 10-degree blade cuts everything that I put on it, and it cuts it really nice. So I just ordered some Ripper 37s. I'm going to try those. I hear a lot of good stuff about them. 10-degree also, and this stone will sharpen those as well. So I'll have a video coming out on those, I'm sure, pretty soon. But I want to take a minute too to thank everybody. I've got almost 200 subscribers, and to a lot of people that's nothing, but to me it means a lot. Can't believe that many people, are interested in what I'm doing from day to day, but it's kind of neat at the same time, I'm just an average guy learning stuff as I go and making a lot of mistakes and learning from them, and hopefully by the end of this whole journey we're going to have a nice house and a nice barn and a nice place to live. So it's going to come with a lot of hard work, but I appreciate you all subscribing and tuning in to see what's going on, and it really means a lot to me. I like the comments. I try to answer all of them. At this point, I still can answer all of them. Hopefully I get to a point where it's going to be too many to answer, but right now I'm still able to, interact with everybody, and I like that. I really do. There's some people on there have given me some good advice. I'm a new guy at this, so there's people that are watching this that are very, very experienced, and can drop a line in the comments and it can help me out. I love it. So keep doing that. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks again.